Cesar, the crowd pleaser. If you need to pick me up, ladies, we gon' change your demeanor. Cesar, the crowd pleaser. We gon' do a little dance, we gon' make the naysayers believe us. Hey girl, had a long day, you tired from work. Throw me some dollars and I remove my shirt. You can touch me too, these are the perks. Free yourself, lose your mind and go berserk, and go berserk, and go berserk, and go berserk.
Make way for the bad guy.
What is up, everyone, and welcome back for another episode of Crowd Pleaser, the podcast that brings you the inside scoop on what it takes to be a male entertainer in today's age. I'm your host, Cesar the Crowd Pleaser, and this week for episode 62, we're going to be interviewing a winner. That's right. There was a recent strip-off down in San Antonio where the best of the best went down to compete, and a really good friend of mine managed to take it down, and I was fortunate enough to get him here. That's right, on the show for a interview. But before I bring him on, I want to go ahead and mention our Patreon. That is patreon.com/crowdpleaser. This is where if you feel like you've gotten a little something from the show, you are able to give back a little something. And yeah, it's a good way to contribute, help me keep the lights on over here. And you can pledge for as little as $1 a show. That's right. And as much as you want, whatever you feel suits your fancy. And you get all kinds of great perks. Like, for example, later on today, I'll be mailing out several 8x8 prints for those respective patrons that are at that tier. So definitely something to consider. Check it out. Once again, patreon.com/crowdpleaser. Every week, I like to give a special shout out to a patron. And this week, it will be Leslie Montgomery. Leslie, you rock. Thank you so much for your ongoing support. I really, really appreciate it. It means a lot to me. Helps me to continue making great content like this and bringing great people on the show. Next up, I want to mention La Bear Dallas. This is where I operate 5 nights a week, every Wednesday to Sunday, 7 p.m. to 2 a.m. Any kind of event you might be having, promotion, baby shower, wedding, birthday, anything, you name it. Come on down to La Bear Dallas. We'll put a special someone on stage and you guys can celebrate with us all night long. All right, and that's going to do it. So without further ado, I want to introduce a really, really good friend of mine. He is a phenomenal entertainer. Seen him create some awesome shows. He's been dancing for 3 years, and he just a great dancer, man. Absolutely stunning to watch. He was actually one of the finalists in my Crowd Pleaser contest, and I want to welcome the man of a million moves, Christian. What is up, buddy?
Nothing much. Just trying to stay busy. How are you?
I am doing really, really, really well. Doing the same thing, man. Jack of all trades, master of none type thing. Every day, I got a little something going on one way or another. So it keeps me busy, keeps me in a routine, which I like to maintain. Keeps me sharp. So that's what's been going on with me. How about you?
Same thing. Just trying to really, as far as this industry goes, just trying to push my limit. I could talk forever about it, but just trying to stay busy doing it.
That's awesome, man. I'm glad to hear it. So let's go ahead and, if you don't mind, jump right into it, man. Like you took it. Let's not. Well, I already gave the spoiler away. So you took it down, man. You took down this strip off. That is absolutely amazing. Like, congratulations.
Thank you so much. You've done it before too. I know you. You know the feeling.
If anything, it just means that I know the struggle is real to make it happen. You know, it's a rare occasion and definitely not something that you should take lightly. Not to say that you do. So let's go ahead and break it down. So what was the strip off? I was not able to attend. I had other commitments, so I wasn't able to attend. But kind of break it down for us. It was the Magic Stick strip off, yes?
Yeah.
And were there any special premises behind it or anything like that? Or was it just bring your best show and everyone have a good time, put on a great show, make some money, and make the crowd happy?
Yeah, that was it exactly. And everybody brought it.
All right, well then let's start at the very beginning. So when and how did you get your invite?
I got a few months ago, or a while back, and it was Juice. He reached out to me and everyone else saying, we're having this big strip off, and just pretty much bring your A game.
Okay, and there was no decision making process or anything. You were in, sold, done. Let's do this.
Yeah. I didn't think twice. I just jumped right in as soon as he said it.
Nice. And so Hard Bodies closed and became the gallery, and you're still living in San Antonio?
Ah, yes, but that's a sore subject.
So what have you been doing in the meantime then?
I really, really tried to start doing stripograms with the regulars, and just, I mean, since Hard Bodies, like since they switched over to the gallery, they haven't really been too choose my words correctly. They haven't been too on like stripograms and stuff like that. So I took it upon myself to really reach out to people, and because I want nothing more than to stay in this industry. This industry is where I found myself. It's where I learned to be most happy. It's an industry where I keep finding myself just wanting more for myself. I don't know. I'm not sure if you know the feeling of just, I don't know. It's been a while since I've been like truly happy with myself and with what I'm doing, and this offers me that. And
So speaking of which, if you're curious as to some of the background that comes with Christian, you can check out his podcast. I'll have to look it up and put it in the show notes. But he was actually on the podcast before. We did a little more in-depth interview on him. So you can learn a lot about him there. But continue on, buddy. Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, you're able to express yourself in every which what form or fashion you want in this industry.
Yeah. And once Hard Bodies pretty much, closed down, it's just, a lot of us were lost. We didn't know what to do. Some of us could travel, or we just found our best option. But honestly, I've been going from job to job. As far as day jobs go, just trying to find happiness through that. And I haven't at all. So, that's honestly a big reason why I want to say that played a big part in why I work so hard on this strip off. Because I just want to, I don't know, prove to myself too that Christian, like, this is where you belong. Like, overall that.
So let's talk about that a little bit. So you got the notification, you accepted, you knew you were going to do it, right? So did you immediately knew you were going to do something new for it, or were you going to dust off one of your old shows, or what happened there?
No. I wanted to do something new, and I sort of bring similar concepts of what I used in my old shows, but overall, I want to bring something new every time I do a strip off, and yeah.
Sweet. So yeah, let's go through so what show did you do?
It was weird. It didn't really. This is my first show that I had that I didn't have a theme to it. Like, it really didn't. It didn't people say, well, what's your theme? What are your costumes? Like, how is that matching your theme? I didn't have one. For this strip off, I just brought out everything. I'm like, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna do that because of this. There was a point in the show where I had a cake all sliced up, and I handed out like 40 to 50 slices to the crowd. Like, I don't know. I just wanted to bring everything. And it didn't, honestly, the theme didn't make sense because I didn't have one. I just tried to bring out everything I can.
Okay. All right. So you decided right off the bat that you were just going to bring everything. That was going to be your theme, like the kitchen sink, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about that a little bit. I know it's probably been a little bit and you can't remember everything, but like, so where did you start? What did you want to finish? Like, that's part of the fun, or at least even if our listeners don't want to hear that, like I do. I think the creative process is one of the best things about seeing new shows and stuff like that. So I can appreciate it.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. I started with the solo. We had masks on, everything. I always like that element of surprise of who's behind the mask for the women. And So, I mean, I always try to put in some complex choreography. I know it's not the smartest as far as, I mean, it's smarter to have easy choreography to look clean than have hard choreography and look not as clean. But I mean, I always take the risk, and I did. So let's see. I try to be as far as myself. I try to do a lot of personal like advanced movements. Like I'll slide on the ground and like do a bunch of stuff like that. So I always try to add little things like that, little wow factors for the
Mm-hmm.
crowd. Let's see. Go on stage. We do our choreography. I I sang "I Want It That Way" by the Backstreet Boys on
Like actually
stage.
sing or like
Yeah,
lip sync?
no. I actually sang it.
No kidding. Oh
Yeah,
wow.
yeah. Juice had a extra mic,
Mm-hmm.
so I practiced that a few days before. And
All right, so my I have to ask, like, can you sing or were you doing it for novelty?
no. I could sing. I have experience singing in the past when I was a kid. So I really wanted to, because people aren't used to me doing that at all. And honestly, I'm not used to or very comfortable doing in front of a big crowd. But I mean,
Mm-hmm.
this was strip off. I'm like, Christian,
Yeah, you can't hold anything back.
yeah. So I didn't, and yeah. Let's see. I sang. It's not something that I usually do, but I wanted to be dynamic and just bring it in this act.
Mm-hmm.
I had I practiced with this girl like days before, and I did tricks with a girl during my act because I wanted to bring that too. I wanted the crowd to see, oh, he does that. He sings, he does choreography, he does tricks with girls. You know what's next? So after that, I fed the I brought all the cake out, and I wanted to have a lot of crowd like activity, like interaction, and so I
Mm-hmm.
brought all that cake out. I gave them that. Let's see. I I poured I had like candles on the stage, and then right after that I poured all the hot wax from the candles on my body, and then I had about four candles set out throughout the club, and then I had the women that were at those like at those stations, they poured the candle wax on me.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and then from there, something I just brought back from my old shows that I just wanted to keep on. I just want to keep on doing more and more. It was I shouldn't have, because I mean it took like it was probably 11 minutes,
I mean,
but
clearly you should have. You won, so
yeah. I did. I ended up doing the silhouette again, and let's see. I ended up doing the shower right after the silhouette, and yeah, that's it. I mean,
it
I did
sounds
the
pretty
yeah.
impressive, man.
Yeah, so I just really for this one I just wanted to get out everything that I was capable of at the time. So, and most importantly, I mean, I focus a lot of time on my transitions being smooth from this to that, choreography to singing to this, everything. But yeah,
So I mean, so a lot of it was just bringing back bits and pieces from all your other shows. Then there wasn't like, I mean, this is gonna sound bad. I don't mean it bad, but there wasn't like an original creativity. There wasn't like a creative process of making something brand new. It was just like, okay, how do I start putting all the best things from all my acts together?
yeah. I mean, besides new choreography and new music, I
Yeah,
mean,
which
but
in of
yeah,
itself, like, I mean, that's still a journey. Like, don't get me wrong. Like I said, it sounds like I'm downplaying, but I'm really not. Like that in of itself is a feat. You know what I mean? Especially when you have to like make something new out of something that isn't. You know?
yeah. But as far as like doing a new, yeah, I was just bringing back old, just bits and pieces of my old shows.
Sweet man. All right. Well, so let's move on to that. Did you prepare? So you end up all right. So what was the preparation for it then? Like, did you diet for it? Did you change up your workouts? Did you lean out? Did you gain some size? Did you? How often were you meeting with the other people in the routine, the practice?
As much as honestly, I try to meet up with them as much as I can. I mean, we have our group chat, and we're always going back and forth when we can meet. Um, let's see. I'm trying to think. I'm sorry, I went blank for a second. I lost my train of thought. Let's
It,
see. Let's see.
you just met
So,
up with them as much as possible, and then you didn't. It sounds like you didn't do any kind of physical prep for it.
no. For strip off, my body usually just, since I'm dancing that much, I bring my dancing like I start dancing three times as much, so my body just automatically just, and plus I'm nervous, and plus
Mhm.
I have 100 things on my mind, so I don't eat as much, so I drop muscle mass, I mean I lean out a lot, so I'm every strip off I'm not as big as I want to be, but I'm more toned than I usually am,
Yeah,
so.
fair. Nothing wrong with that.
But I mean, besides from I forget to eat. I mean, during strip off time, like I'll eat like a few times a day, but I mean, nothing like I definitely should as far as dieting goes.
Yeah,
But yeah,
which I feel like is so not the correct answer.
yeah, yeah. But yeah, it's just all that sweating and all that dancing just really leans me out really quickly. I don't know why. I don't know what it is about my body, but yeah, it
Well,
just
it's
kind
just
of falls
cardio.
off.
Like I
Yeah,
feel you. Trust me. Like I dance pretty hard myself. Like for my conditioning class, my aero conditioning class, the warm up is dancing because I just dance hard enough to where it warms me up. Like I start to break sweats, and so far my classes I've been enjoying. They say they get pretty warm doing it as well. So I totally understand, especially if you're doing it. And I know how you train. You probably train hard as heck, where you're hitting every beat as hard as you can every time. So that in of itself, those isolations trigger so many muscles that you're getting a decent workout.
yeah.
All right, well, that covers the prep work, man. So, all right, dude, like what's up? Tell me about the night of, man. Everything from start to finish.
Man, it's always nerve wracking. It's always. I mean, it's a great feeling, like being nervous like that, because it's so rare that I don't know we are. But on nights like that, it's like it's fair game. You're gonna get what you put in, kind of thing. And yeah, I mean, it was good seeing everybody too, like to work together again from 8 to 2. That was, I mean, you know how the whole brotherhood thing part of it is. That's such a big deal
Hmm.
for me, and just seeing each other, we were in all each other's acts, which is awesome, and and yeah, it's just awesome that we put all this work in, and it goes to it goes for a good cause. I mean, it like you said, how'd you say it? How'd you word it when you texted me? You said creative release. It's a good opportunity to have a lot of creative release, and that's what the strip off is.
Yeah, oh, for sure. If there's ever an excuse to go all out, it's for a strip off. So you mentioned it was great hanging out with the guys. Who all was there?
Let's see. We had Juice, Mandingo, Martine, and Casey was there. Let's see. No one from out of town, or we had a few guys from out of town. His name was Hypnotizer. We had a hardcore. One was Cali Red, and let's see. I'm trying to think. I think Randy tried to make it down, but I think he had some obligations going on. But yeah, I think let's see. I'm sure there's more. I don't know why I'm going blank on him, but yeah, I mean everybody just tried to bring their best show, and they did. Especially
What?
Juice. Juice always does.
Oh yeah, there without a doubt. Juice definitely brings some serious stuff to this show, without a doubt.
Yeah, but yeah.
So what number did you go up?
Let's see. I went up fifth. Yeah, and
Oh
I'm
wow,
yeah,
that's a little on the early side. Holy
yeah,
cow.
yeah. It was at 9. It was like between 9 and 9:30,
Were
And
you
that's a,
nervous about
yeah,
that?
yeah, yeah. I've never gone up that early. Especially, I'm like, oh, like, women don't start showing up sometimes till like late. I'm like, oh my God, like, I'm not gonna have like enough women for my slices of cake to hand out, and I don't know. I was really nervous about that, and plus for my act, um, I had a lot of things I had to set in motion, like at the moment kind of thing. Like right before my act, I had to make sure the candles were lit, and in certain, spots throughout the club, I had to make sure, the girl was sitting down in a certain spot. I had to make sure like everything was set in place, like the silhouette, all the shower stuff. The
Yeah,
microphone was there, and I just had to make sure, like right before my act, like the black light, like I made sure I brought and I had plugged in at the time. And but yeah, so I mean, it was luckily the person right before me, I wasn't in their act, so I had time to get my costume ready, do everything I needed to. But yeah,
mentally and emotionally prepare yourself.
yeah.
Any hiccups or anything during the live performance?
No, no. Me and Juice were talking about it just leading up to this show and during the show. Everything went as expected and as planned. It was weird because
Yeah,
that's
exactly. That's what I was gonna
yeah,
say. It always messes up sometime.
yeah. But see, that's the last thing I'd expect for everything to go like we want, and it did. It was weird. It was the perfect scenario, perfect, and that was for everyone's shows. Everyone's shows went perfect. No one had any mistakes. The runner did great the whole time. Like it was weird. It's like 1 in 1,000 for something like that to happen.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. That's awesome. I'm really glad to hear it went so well for everybody though.
Yeah.
And all right, so did you think you had a chance at winning? Did you think you had it? Did you think you had no chance?
No,
Watching the other guys?
I was nervous. I mean, of course. I mean, something I learned in my first few strip offs is don't count on it. Like because I've had acts that I was like, oh my God, I'm at least gonna place, and I wouldn't place. Like my first one, and I just don't get my hopes up, and that's what I did with this one. I mean, I was like, Christian, just bring everything you have, and if you don't place, you don't place. I mean, I know that I did great, and I know that I brought everything I did.
Mm-hmm.
And if the judges didn't like it, then I did. So I mean, that's all that matters. But they ended up liking it, so I'm good.
So were you surprised that you took it down?
Yeah, yeah, I was. I was really nervous. I was surprised. I think I won by 1 point.
Oh, really? Oh,
Yeah,
wow. Who took
yeah.
second?
His name's Hardcore. He's out of town. Yeah, two. Let's see. Two out of towners got one. Got second. One got third.
That's
Yeah.
pretty impressive. What kind of show did he do?
Um. He did. He did a lot of tricks with girls and stuff like that. He came out from the back and oiled up.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he came down. He just did a lot of tricks with girls, but he's experienced. I think he's in his 50s actually. He's a great entertainer. But yeah, he's in his 50s, and yeah, still
That's
got it.
awesome. That is awesome. You got to appreciate that for
Oh
sure.
yeah, absolutely.
Well, that's great, man. So after the fact, like, what do you feel like? Did that change anything? Do you feel like you're gonna add that routine to your repertoire? Are you gonna upgrade it? Or are you gonna move on to other things? Like, what's up?
Um, I don't think I could. I mean, as much as I want to do that act again, I'm not sure if I'm
It
not
was
sure.
too
Like I
much.
have. Well, no, I just there were so many things I had to set in motion, especially like doing tricks with girls. Like I mean, the last thing I try to do is finding a girl in the crowd. Because what if she's drunk? What if she she's I try to flip her up and she has no idea what I'm doing and she falls and stuff like that. So I mean, every time I do something like that, I definitely want to practice with the same girl over and over again. Because I mean, nothing's worse than somebody getting hurt, like just falling, and they get hurt, the show gets ruined. It's hard to recover from something like that.
I agree. I agree wholeheartedly. It's
Yeah.
definitely something that I've struggled with from time to time myself. You know, I do shower. I when I did shower, I put a random girl up, but the first time I did Conan, I totally had a ringer, 100%. I had three
Yeah.
ringers because I'm like, I don't. One, I wanted to add the shirt rip aspect of it, but two, yeah, you just can't trust randomness sometimes, you know, especially when so much is on the line.
Yeah, and a lot of these girls are having a good time and they're drinking, and it just takes one time, and I couldn't afford for that to be my one time. So, but yeah, let's see,
Right.
and I mean it's hard to do shower at different locations, do silhouette at different locations, and I don't know,
Hmm.
I will. I mean, but yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, I'll
Well, you're a
probably do something
professional, you know.
similar. Yeah, and I always adjust to my stage, and but yeah.
Nice, man. That's great. I'm glad to hear it. So, moving around and changing gears a little bit from the contest. Congratulations yet again. Um, yeah, I think it's awesome. Congratulations. I'm glad you took it down. You're very deserving of it. I couldn't imagine anyone else off the top of my head deserving it more. So, good job,
Thank you,
man.
thank you.
The the next thing I want to bring up is something that you alluded to prior to the show, which is you've actually been considering expanding your show into aerial as well, right?
Yes, yeah, that's true.
So tell me a little
Yeah.
something about that, man. What apparatus did you choose? What made you want to go into circus? How is it going for you? All that.
I chose to do the hammock. It's like a sling. It's just one big loop, and yeah, no, I decided to do it. I wanted to get this strip off. I mean, done with. I'm like, okay, like once I get this strip off done with, no matter the end result, like I want to move into something that I'm not experienced with at all. I mean, I've been dancing for a while, but I mean, I want to add something more to my show. I mean, dancing's great, but at the end of the day, like dancing's just dancing,
Hmm.
and women could see it anywhere. So I really wanted to add something more to my show, and I feel like it's really important just to stay as dynamic as I can. Um, but yeah, no, that's I want a challenge. I need a challenge, and that it's a challenge. I'm sore. Yeah, I'm really sore. So I mean, you know the feeling. But yeah.
Yeah, it definitely gets you. The first couple of times you start doing it, you're engaging muscles that you probably have either don't used often or have never used in your life before. So you're definitely gonna get some soreness and stuff going on, but over time it gets better.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean,
Have you
yeah.
done a drop yet?
Yeah. I'm just trying to learn to trust the rope. I've done a few, and but there's that forward one. I think I saw you post on Instagram with the chain. It's
Oh,
that
the
one.
salto? Yeah, the
Yeah,
360 salto. Yeah.
yeah. You fall forward, and like I'll get it half the time, and the other half, I twist my leg a certain way because I don't trust it, and I just mess it up. But yeah, I'm just learning to trust it at this point.
Yeah, the nerve aspect of it.
Yeah.
You'll get there, man. It comes with time. It comes with time. Like sometimes it will never go away, but to push through it gets easier and the time it takes you to do it gets shorter and shorter. So that's fantastic. I'm glad to hear it. I hope you really enjoy the journey. Just be careful because it's very easy to get addicted to circus and then all of a sudden you want to do all the apparatus. So be
Yeah.
careful. I will tell you that. Cross training is a thing.
Yeah. No. Yeah. The guy teaching me, he asked me, he's like, so you want to stick with this or you want to go to something else? And I told him, I was like, I need to commit to one thing, like right now. Like as much as I want to switch to, something else, because I see so many things like I see the silks, I see ropes, I see straps, I see all this stuff. I'm like, yeah, of course I want to do it. But I mean, I need to stay. I need to learn to be great at one thing before I move on to the next one. And
Smart.
yeah,
It really helps your learning curve, man. I can't stress that enough. Like I tell my students all the time, the how quickly you get better is directly proportionate to how much time you put in flying. And if don't get me wrong, the body awareness and things like that do cross over, but the skill and technique on a certain apparatus do not. So you have to do the apparatus, you know?
Yeah. And yeah, and I honestly, like right after the first, like my first class, I was just, I'm making plans for myself. Like I'm looking, I'm like, I'm listening to music on how to and when to do certain things. Like I'm really rushing myself. Like I'm like asking the guy, I'm like, can you show me this? I know I'm not ready for it, but I want to try it even though I'm not ready for it. Like I'm trying, and I'm not sure if it's the best for myself to rush myself. I mean,
Hmm.
it never is, but I mean, I wanna learn and I want to advance as quick as I can. Because I mean, my show's on the line. I mean, honestly, I mean, this is not trying to spoil the next strip off, but this, I mean, this is something I'm really trying to incorporate, and I want to be great at it. I don't want to go in there and just, do a few small things and then, and them not be impressed.
Hmm.
But I just, I mean, I really want to bring it for my next big show, and yeah,
Well, that's great, man. I'm super excited for you. I wish you all the best. I think you're gonna do great. Your hard work and stuff really will help the learning curve.
yeah.
So
Thank you.
yeah, I think you're gonna like it quite a bit. I'm excited. Just make sure you keep sending me videos and stuff. I'd love to see your progression.
Yeah. I sent you those videos last night, and they're a little sloppy, but I mean, yeah, especially that leg drop one.
Where were you guys practicing at? Was that a club or something?
Yeah. He does it. He does it at a club, and he just had me meet up with him there. He's like, "Hey, I'm gonna be. I have a few other people. I'm teaching, so come on through, and I'll squeeze you in there." So we did it for
Hmm.
about an hour and a half.
Ah, okay. Well,
Yeah.
right on. Sweet, man. That is awesome. I'm super glad. Like I've probably said that like 4 or 5 times already, but I really am. I'm super stoked whenever someone takes on circus because I've seen through my students so many people overcome many obstacles and levels of difficulty and fears and emotional states and all this stuff to conquer aerial, and it's absolutely amazing what they can do. And then obviously it's another form of expression, which is always a great escape as well.
Yeah.
So sweet, brother. Well, I
Yeah, man.
think that pretty much covers everything we talked about or wanted to talk about. Is there anything you want to bring up before we move on to the best and worst events of the week?
Let's see. Oh, he's gonna be mad if he listens to this, and the fact that I didn't bring him up. Trey was there. Trey was at the strip off. He competed. I,
Oh, no
I
kidding.
yeah, I feel so bad that I didn't forget, but it just, I don't know, it just wasn't on my mind at the time. But yeah,
Yeah.
Trey competed. He did a whole new act out
Oh,
of
nice.
nowhere. He built this. I don't want to spoil it, but I mean, he built a chair. And it was just completely new music and new everything. It was
Man,
on a
that is
smaller,
awesome.
yeah, it was on a smaller scale because I mean, he's a dad now. I mean,
Yeah.
congratulations to him, and his daughter's beautiful, but he's busy, and he brought what he can, and he killed it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That is so
yeah,
awesome. Man, that is fantastic.
yeah,
Oh, now I really wanted to be there to freaking kick it with you guys and stuff. Oh, that's a little frustrating. Oh well.
yeah,
The that's great that he was there. I had no idea he was there at all.
yeah. No one was expecting it. He showed up in his truck. He took all his stuff out. He's like, let's do this, and it was such a good feeling seeing him. I mean, like, because I mean, he was a huge part. I mean, when I started out, he was just, he was there to, tell me not to quit. He always gave wisdom, and he's a good dude. He's a real, he's a real person, and he's an awesome guy.
Oh yeah,
So
for
yeah,
sure. So shout out to Trayvon and congratulations on being a dad and managing to somehow sneak out and make a strip off, man. That's awesome.
yeah, yeah.
That's super awesome. Sweet. All right, man. Well, with that, I think it leads us to our best and worst events of the week. So why don't you start us off with your worst event of the week?
Let's see. My worst event. Hmm. As like my worst show or my worst like event I've
Doesn't matter.
gone to. Okay. All right.
Event, just like something that happened, not necessarily an actual event, but you know how it is. Like whenever people find out you're a stripper, they're always like, "Oh my God, what's the craziest thing that's happened?"
Oh, okay. Let's see. I think we touched base a little bit on this on the last podcast, but I don't know. There was one event a while back, or just a show a while back, and let's see. I put a bunch of effort in my choreography that night, like right before the show. Like I was confident. Like I mean, I go out there trying to be confident, and for
Hmm.
some reason, like I don't know if it was the moon that night or something, but I don't know. It just all my choreography fell apart. I mean, I wasn't there mentally. As soon as I stepped out on that stage, I was more nervous than usual for some reason, and I don't know why. So, I mean, I messed up my choreography and a bunch of little things like that. And
Hmm.
let's see, and the shower didn't work that night for some reason too. On top of all this, so I took a shower and I'm like, okay, turn the shower on, and no water came out. I was like, oh my god. So I'm standing there in a tub of nothing, like, and women are kind of looking like, why is he standing there? And and yeah, so it
You're
was
like
really awkward.
waiting in anticipation, and you're meanwhile
Yeah.
you're like freaking out.
Yeah, and like I put like cues in my music to like, when the water turns on, it's gonna be this climax of the song. And so like no water came out. And then like yeah, it was just really awkward transitioning, especially too, because I wasn't expecting it. And but I mean I adjusted the best I can. I mean I'm sure they were able to tell. But
Of course, you're a professional.
yeah, so and on top of that, let's see. And I think this is what we touched base a little on in the past. I had like I think it really put me down. I don't know why I let it put me down, but right after that show, I was on side stage, and a woman comes up and she says how adorable and cute, and she brings up, I'm not the tallest guy, so she brings up my height, and she mainly just came up there because she was pointing at me. Um, And I'm just thinking, oh, she's gonna come up and talk to me, and she likes me because she's pointing at me like from her friend. She's like, oh, that's the guy, and she comes up to me, and she like kind of like she like stands next to me, and she like puts her hand like over my head, and she like looks at her friend. She's like, see, I told you he was this short, and so like
Oh
yeah.
man.
So I mean, of course I'm kind. Of course I play it off, and I'm sweet, and I'm a little funny with it. But I mean, that on top of my show, I'm like, it really discouraged me at the moment. Like I know I know I do as great as I can, and I dance as the best I can. I try to bring it every show. For some reason that night, it was
Just
just
a
a
little too close to home.
yeah. So yeah, that's all it was. But yeah.
All right, for mine, we it was this past weekend. We had a party come in, and they came in early. It was a pretty lively party, about 8 women, I think, and they were having a good time, and they were great. Like we had no complaints about them. They were partying, they were tipping well. Well, they got there early and they started drinking, and they ended up like not stop drinking. Like they never stopped drinking.
Oh no.
So it ended up being a point where they got like just a little too inebriated, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And one of them just all of a sudden decided it was great to. I think it was after we put their girl up on stage. They're like, "Oh yeah, we can go on stage," and yeah. So like after
Oh
they figured
no.
that out, they were on the rail. They were on that part right in front of the shower. And so all night long they kept jumping on stage, where we had to like politely ask them to get off the stage, and like they were like standing on in front of the shower, just kind of dancing, like no one in it and stuff, but they were up there the whole time.
Oh no.
Yeah, it just ended up being like this slightly more awkward than it really needed to be type feeling. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, because they were great, they were being super nice and they were awesome, except for the fact that they just stayed on stage, for so long and kept getting on stage. And we had to keep asking them to get down. And, it just, we were like, man, really, guys? Like, please? So that was the worst event. Like, it's not, you know, a deal breaker or anything awkward like that, but it still is enough to kind of like set a mood. And it wasn't like we had to deal with it one time and they moved on, you know, like literally they were there all night. Like, they closed the place down. So it was like we wanted to like hold them to the rules, but at the same time, since they were such good people, we also didn't want to be a complete party pooper. So
Yeah. So they were getting on stage like during your acts and stuff.
oh yeah, like repeatedly during the acts, during tip time, like all the time. Like,
Oh my God.
yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, that would throw me off. I would mess up all my choreography. That's, oh my gosh. Yeah.
I mean, you got practice sometimes. With the
Yeah.
proper practice, you just, all right, got it.
Yeah.
So,
Man. Dang, that's tough. And like during your act, you had to like someone had to come out and get them when they were getting on stage.
oh yeah, for sure.
Man.
Yeah,
Oh
because
wow.
at some point, just having the runner or the waiter come up to him wasn't a thing. So,
Yeah. Man. Dang, that's awkward. I'm just imagining it, just you taking tips and you having to stand up and walk over there and saying, "Hey, you can't be up here," and then going back, and then yeah, that's it's
yeah,
uncomfortable.
exactly. Sorry to bother you. I know you're having a good time, but you're having too much of a good time. You can't really have that much of a good time here.
Yeah, man. Oh, that's awkward.
Yeah. All right, but let's move on to greener pastures. What was your best event of the week?
Um, Strip off probably. Yeah,
I can get behind that.
yeah. You know, competing and placing like I did. You know, of course I'm happy with. I mean, we all put our work in, but I mean, like I said in I had a Facebook post, but it's just all the guys coming together and everything leading up to that show is what's
Hmm.
really important to me, and probably why I did how I did. Um, yeah, like everything. A lot of what I do, a lot of it's backed up by. I mean, the brotherhood, like just revolved around. I mean, the show and the club. I mean, it really. I mean, I take what everybody says into consideration as far as my shows go, and tip taking everything. And yeah, I mean, but yeah, no, it's just everyone coming together. I mean, I wish you could have been there. And
Sounds like a
yeah,
great time. I definitely wish I could have, for sure.
yeah, but yeah,
Well, that's great, man. I'm glad to hear it. You deserve it. Like, you deserve the win. You worked hard, so I'm glad it worked out for you.
yeah, thank you.
The For me, it actually was a lap dance class that I did a lap dance workshop geared towards couples. I used to do something similar to that back when I was doing salsa congresses and stuff like that. I've done it on a couple of private parties, and so a bunch of my students were like, "You need to do a workshop. You need to do a workshop." So I finally was like, "All right, do it." Threw it up on the schedule, and we actually had a really good turnout of people show up. And then B, just in general, everyone had a great vibe. Like, people had an absolute blast attending. They enjoyed themselves quite a bit. So it just kind of added to the atmosphere, and I was like, all right, this is kind of cool. Like, I got a ton of good feedback about it, and everyone was like, you need to make it longer next time and stuff like that. So just
Yeah,
nothing too crazy, but it was a little bit still kind of involved in the club, and a bunch of people were more willing to come to the club after that because they're like, wow, this is super neat. We had some ladies that just stepped outside their comfort zone and really explored themselves, and what it was to feel pretty and treat appeal to someone else and show some appreciation for someone else. It was awesome. It was a really good experience. I'm glad I did it. I was a little nervous about it, but at the end of the day, I was glad I did it, and everyone had a blast, including the owner of the studio, which is always a nice bonus. So
yeah, yeah. I saw you promoting that on social media. How long did you make it for, or like how long was the class for?
it was an hour is what I had geared it towards, but we ended up playing it out to actually an hour and a half. So
Really?
It just, like I said, it just ended up being one of those things where at time, like too many awesome things were happening. So
Now, if you don't mind me asking, did you have it? Did you have it all planned out? Like, did you have it like,
mm,
okay, I'm going to do this at 20 minutes. I'm going to do this at 40 minutes and all
not
that
not,
stuff?
not time wise, I did not. I did have a curriculum of what I wanted to cover and what skills and give time for people to practice it and stuff like that. So I did cover that stuff. I like having structure, but I didn't go as far as breaking it down by time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I was wondering how that turned out because I've never heard of something like that before.
Well, you know me, I do what I can one way or another. I'm
Yeah.
not afraid to explore stuff. So
Yeah. And if it didn't work out, then I mean, you would know. But I mean, if you had a great turnout, man, I bet. Are you planning on doing it again?
yeah, I definitely am. Enough people asked about it and want to see another one that it's definitely gonna go on the roster for sure. So
Man, that could be pretty big. I mean, maybe a weekly thing or bi-weekly thing.
I don't know about that. That might be a little much.
Yeah.
I mean, per week is a lot. That's pretty big commitment, honestly. And
Yeah.
you need you need a lot of turnover, or there'll be a lot of turnover. So
Yeah.
just between a combination of the curriculum and the people that come back, yeah, no, I think a weekly thing would be too much. Right now, I'll probably
Yeah.
end up doing it in probably about 3 months. Is I
Yeah.
think a healthy thing for people to come back as well as generate hype for the new people.
Yeah. And plus, you would have to come up with new material, and there's only so much new material you could come up with for stuff like that.
I don't know. I'm pretty creative when it comes to stuff like that. Plus, uh, I mean, I won't
What?
give away too much because I want people to come to the
Yeah,
workshop.
yeah. I
But
really I really want to ask, and I really want to be like, well, what are you doing here? What are you doing there? But I
yeah,
know I shouldn't.
we'll,
But
we could talk about it offline. We'll do that.
yeah,
Talk about some
yeah.
offline and whatnot. So, but yeah, all right, man. I think that's good. Let's This is probably gonna post the show shortly. So as a reminder to you all, they just had the Magic Stick strip off down in San Antonio, and then we are doing our Sexiest Man in Texas contest up here in Dallas, July 19th, which is less than a week away. Or actually, I guess it's a week away tomorrow. We're recording this on Thursday. So definitely check it out. Come out. It is the biggest event for our club. It is a strip off, but we also throw in like a pageant, if you will. So gentlemen come out in their suits, come out in nightwear, they come out in swim attire, and then they still do their great show. So definitely consider coming out for that. It is one of the best shows that we put on year round. So you will not want to miss that. Do you have any events that you want to plug in there, Christian?
Let's see. Not sure when is this going to be posted?
This week, probably tomorrow, honestly.
Okay. Yeah. No, we're having let's see. We're having a show. We're just having a small show at it's called Club Diamonds here in San Antonio on Sunday. Starts at 11 p.m. and then we're gonna be down in Corpus at Men's Palace the 21st at 5 p.m. And yeah, that's it. And yeah, names keep coming to my head. That was at the strip off. CJ Diesel. Yeah, I just wanted to throw their names out. I don't want anyone to think I forgot about them. But yeah, no, just those two shows coming up.
Okay, cool, nice. All right, where can people reach you at on social media and stuff?
Let's see. I'm on Facebook. I'm Christian Carter, and let's see. And on social media, I am Christian_Carter.
Sweet, easy, straight to the point. I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
Yeah.
All right, guys, you can catch me on Facebook at Cesar Collazo, COLLAZO. On Instagram and Twitter, it is CesarLaver7. And then every Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday mornings, you can catch me streaming live. That's right, you can come hang out with me as I do various skill sets and stuff on live chat at twitch.tv/Jedi_EJ. That is JEDI_EJ. Come hang out. We can talk about whatever I'm doing, whether it's playing strategy games or cosplaying or practicing circus. And yeah, just kind of discuss things and have a good time. So come hang out. All right, Christian, thank you so much for taking the time to be on the show. I really, really appreciate it, brother. It means a lot. I know our fans are going to enjoy this. You were a fan favorite on the reality show, and I think you still are, winning over hearts and minds of everyone. So thanks again for coming on the show. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
All right, guys, that will do it. So up until next time, keep bringing the rain.
I'm focused, I'm in my zone. You can binge watch like Game of Thrones. Reserve your judgments, don't throw no stones. Who's and I scream as loud as you don't. Airplane mode on tablets and phones. Caesar's crowd pleasers is now on. Caesar, the crowd pleaser. If you need to pick me up, ladies, we gon' change your demeanor. Caesar, the crowd pleaser. We gon' do a little dance, we gon' make the naysayers believe us.